Hey everyone, we are the group 1 and our topic is about theories of globalization. So my name is Shelly Q. Azarcon and I am the first reporter. Before we're going to discuss about the theories of globalization, first I will define to you what is globalization and its historical development. So when we say globalization, it is the process where countries become more connected and dependent on each other through trade, technology, culture, politics, and communication. In short, when we say globalization is sa siya kaproseso na ang each countries become more connected and dependent to each other through sa mga trade, mga technology, culture, politics, and communication. So, ang globalization is wala siya mag-start today, i-develop siya kuan over time, di ka pa sa una hantod karon.
Historical development of globalization.
First is the 15th to 18th century European colonial expansion. So, ang mga countries like Spain, Portugal is ga-explore o ga-trade sa Asia, Africa, and sa America. So, ga-create sila trade routes across oceans. For example, ang mga spices from Asia, when say spices ka ng mga ingredients ka ng mga pepper, basta mga ingredients from Asia is ibaligyan nila sa Europe. So, nga nag-create ng trade routes across each countries or oceans. Next is the 18th to 19th century where Industrial Revolution occurred. So, the Industrial Revolution is ginalaw nila ang mass production using machines. So, mga countries start sila pag-trade ng mga more products internationally. For example, kanang mga clothes, mga machines is ya-produce na faster para baligya sa other country. Next is the post-World War II, where after World War II, countries create global financial institutions like kanang mga International Monetary Fund or IMF, World Bank. So, ini na mga institution is katabang siya sa mga countries sa pag-manage ng kwarta, mga loans, o mga economic problems. For example, kanang ang isa ka countries mag-face ng financial crisis, so ang IMF or the International Monetary Fund is maka-provide ng financial assistance sa iyo na country na yung face ng mga economic problems. So, ano siya ang purpose ng pag-create ng global financial institutions? Next is, in 1990s to present is ang digital revolution. So, nga din na domain, usbong ang digital era, wherein gagamit na kita ng internet, technology, na connect sa ato instantly, wherein maka-message na kita sa ato relatives or family, friends, abroad, sa other country, through sa Facebook, Messenger, video call, ingana. Next is the regional impact of globalizations. So, nganhi, different regions experience globalization differently. So dili sagid parehas ang experience ng mga countries, ng each countries in terms of globalizations. Kumbaga, lahi-lahi silang experience sa pag-adapt ng globalization sa ilang country. For example, sa Asia. So ang Asia is more on rapid industrializations and export growth, wherein nga focus on exporting, importing goods and services. For example, countries like China is sila mag-export sila ng mga electronics, ng mga technology nila worldwide. So next is Latin America. Focus sila sa economic liberalization and trade agreement. For example, is yung hindi na mga countries is ga-focus sila sa pag-reduce ng mga trade barriers para maka-attract pa sila ng investors, para may kuwang pa sa ilangan ng mga investors na makakuha sila benefits kay yaon damuan mo engage sa ila, damuan mo invest sa ila country. So nganha makakuha gud sila benefits. Next is Africa. So ngan sa Africa is ga-focus sa pag-export ng ilang mga natural resources. For example, oil and minerals. So ila yung na-export sa other country para sa makakuha sila ng benefits. Next is sa Europe. So sa Europe, the regional integration through the European Union. So ngani sa EU or Europe, ngayon ng mga countries is ga-share sila ng mga policies. Ga-focus sila sa pag-share ng policies o kanang pag-allow ng easier travel and trade para ang mga citizens is maka-work na, maka-travel sa other EU countries na dili sila maglisod. Mas dali anda ka ng ila proseso pag mag-travel sila sa other country. So, yon ang ginafokusan ng Europe. Next is the dimensions of globalizations. So, the globalization has three main dimensions. First is the economic dimension. Second is the political dimension. And third is the social dimensions. So, nga sa economic dimension is ga-focus siya on trade and businesses between countries. So nga included ang international trade, foreign investment, global supply chains, and national corporation. So sa international trade, when you say international trade is kanang pag-buy and sell ng mga goods or services ng each country. For example, yaon pag trade ng mga products, pag-export, pag-import ng mga products to each country, amo na siya an example ng international trade. For example, next is foreign investments. So nga sa foreign investment is kanang foreign investment is when a person or company from one country puts money into a business in another country. Kanang pag-invest ng money sa other country para maka-earn ng profit. For example, ang Japanese company is mag-build sila ng factory sa Philippines. So, amo na siya ang ginitawag na foreign investment, wherein mag-invest sila ng money sa other country para makakuha sila ng profit. Next is global supply chain. So, ang global supply chain is a process where a product is made using parts and label from different countries. Next is the multinational corporations. So, ngayon sa multinational corporations are big companies that operates in many country. In short, kanang mga companies na may mga businesses in different parts of the world. For example, McDonald's, di ba? Lahi-lahi mo yung branch ng McDonald's in different country. Yan yung sa Philippines, sa lain nasod. So, amin siya ang example. And to the second dimension is the political dimension. So, nganhi, ang mga countries cooperate sila through international organizations. For example, United Nations, World Trade Organizations o WTO. So, ay sila pag-work sa global issues like climate change and trade rules. Di ba? Example, di ba, makakita kita sa mga news na may mga representative from each country na magkita sila sa isa ka lugar wherein mag-meeting sila para punan nito ng mga para mitingan nito ng mga global issues na para makaplano sab sila unsa nila pag-solve ng mga global issues. Next is the social and cultural dimensions. So nganhi sa social and cultural dimension is the involvement ni ang people, culture, ideas spreading worldwide. So including ni ang migration, cultural exchange, global media, spread of ideas. Next is the key concepts of globalization. So there are three. There are three concepts of globalization: the interdependence, the compressions of time and space, and interconnectedness. So first is the interdependence, where country depend on each other. For example, ang lang sa other country is ang ila price ng ila oil is mag-increase. So sa Pilipinas is ang fuel sub is mag-increase. So amoy naman ginatawag na interdependence kaya ang mga countries depend sa plano or mga actions gikan sa other countries isab. Is compression of time and space, wherein technology makes the world feel smaller. For example, through technology, murag panid na to duol da bitaw or yaon small da ang world. Kay before, di ba? For example, di ba before ang mga letters na ipadamo sa imo family or mga loved ones, mukabat pa ng pila ka months or ado sir makuha or mo-arrive sa imong gipadadaan. But now, through globalizations, technology or ano na kanyan ha, pwede na ka makig-talk time to time or kinuno mo gusto makig-story sa ila or sa imong family, pwede na kayo yon kita or makikuan sa ila makig-istorya through video call nang dili na ka magkuwat pa ng pila ka months. So amen siya ang compression of time and space. Next is number 3, or the interconnectedness. So nganhi people, businesses, and governments are linked globally. Diba? Businesses and governments are linked globally, diba? For example, sa mga tao, diba grabe nakakuha ng social media. So pag mag-post ako ganin mag-post ko ng video na grabe ka ma-engage yun ng mga tao, diba? Dali dayon siya mo viral because tanan tao worldwide is maka-access or makakita ng imo video. Pwede din nila yon i-search basta kay pag mag-scroll na lang yun sila, makita na dayon ang imo video. Naman yung iba ng mga viral video dali mo viral o mo famous because of the international access worldwide. Yun siya sa interconnectedness. So, that's all for my topic, wherein ang economic globalization is the focus sa pag-trade o paghimo or production ng mga goods and services, political globalizations, wherein sa pag-create ng mga trade rules or pag-solve ng mga global issues or global problems, ang cultural globalization or global demands and trends, wherein pag-exchange ng mga culture gikan sa other country, and interdependence, where countries rely on each other or pag-depend ng each countries to each other. Pag-depend ng each countries to each other. So that's all for my topic, and Ms. Kayla Arpileta will going to continue the discussion about the theories of globalization. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I'm Carla Pia Pineda. Today I will discuss the two theories of globalization, which are liberalism and neoliberalism. So first, let us talk about liberalism. So liberalism believes that countries become more successful when they trade fairly with each other. So it supports free markets, fewer trade barriers, and cooperation between nations. So kumbaga, ang liberalism is mas nagtuos na mas mulang pang ato country kung gamay da ang bawal or hadlang sa pagbaliya o papalit sa mga produkto. So according to this theory, when countries depend on one another through trade, they are less likely to have conflicts. Liberalism also supports international organizations that help countries work together. So it means kung ang country magtinabangay ng negosyo, mas maminusan ang mga away-away o mas magligo na nato o kapsay daan tanan. So for example, if our country is magbaligyan ng foods while ang isa is magbaligyan ng mga machines, so both countries are maka-benefit, so they chose to work together instead na magkikompetensya o magig-away pa. So next is neoliberalism. So neoliberalism is a modern form of liberalism that strongly supports free markets and believe that the government should have limited involvement in the economy. So it promotes privatization, which means private companies run to service instead of the government. It also supports deregulation or reducing rules for business and emphasizes individual responsibility rather than government welfare. So kumbaga, ang neoliberalism is nagtuo sila na mas ma-effective na ito ekonomiya kung mas lamang ang pakialam or involvement ng gobyerno. So then, mas may freedom ang mga ang mga ganagigusyo and also nagtuisip sila na ini na mga tao is angay pamusalig sa ilakaw galingon kaysa magsalig sa tabang sa gobyerno. So for example, instead na ang government mag-manage ng electricity or water services, but mostly private companies ang nag-handle. So supporters believe that these make services more efficient, but critics say it can be expensive for ordinary people. Kumbaga mas paspas agaw o madayo ang serbisyo, pero usahay mas nagiging maano siya para sa mga ordinaryo na tao. So in short, nato tutumanan is ang liberalism is the-focus sa cooperation between countries through trade. So while neoliberalism is the-focus siya on free markets, private businesses, and limited government control. So that's all my part. Thank you.
So, good day everyone. Today, i-explain ko yung slide natin about critical frameworks, especially yung Marxist perspective o critical framework in understanding globalization. So, first, let's talk about the Marxist perspective. So, yan yung mga key argument. Ako tangin na yung sunod sa ako, explain din na ako basa. So, according to these views, ang globalization ay nagpapalawak ng kapitalism. Sa buong mundo, ibig sabihin, mas magiging powerful ang malaking kumpanya at mayamang bansa. So, for example, may mga malaking multinational companies galing US or Europe na nagtatayo ng factory sa mahirap na lugar na bansa tulad ng ilang parts ng Asia. So, ginamit nila ang cheap labor o natural resources doon para mas lumaki ang profit nila. So, another ideas in that condition ay ang peripheral nations. Ang condition ay yung mayaman at industrialized na bansa, habang ang peripheral nation ay yung mahirap na bansa na nagbibigay raw ng materials at workers. So, for example, mupalit ang rich country ng mineral o agricultural product sa poor country. So, sa mababang presyo. So, tapos ibinibenta nila ang ipalit nila na material sa mahal na kuhan budget. So kapag nag-pass na, mas malaki ang kita ng rich country habang mas maliit ang napunta sa poor country. So dahil dito nagkaroon ng global working class versus capitalist class. So ang working class ay yung mga labor tulad ng factory workers, habang ang capitalist class ay yung mga business owners. So for example, ang working minimum wage lang ang sahod, pero ang mga may-ari ng kumpanya milyon-milyon ang kinikita. So because of this, mas lumalaki ang inequality, lumalawak ang gap between rich and poor, both between countries at kahit sa loob mismo ng isang bansa. So next is, now let's move to the critical framework. So ang critical framework ay nakapokus din sa power at inequality, pero dili lang sa economy. So tinitignan din nila ang ideas, culture at narratives. They ask who benefits from globalization, who is left behind. So for example, kung laging pinapakita ng media na ang globalization ay progress o development, kailangan natin i-question kung lahat pa talaga ay nakikinabang. So maring malaki ang benefit sa big corporation, pero may nahirapan naman ang small local business. So ina-analyze din ng critical framework ang structural inequalities. So ibig sabihin, may mga problem na built-in na mismo sa sistema. So for example, ang marginalized group tulad ng indigenous people o poor community ay maring walang equal access sa education, trabaho o political power. So lastly, it emphasizes the voices of marginalized group. So for example, kapag may communities na nagpo-protest laban sa mining sa sumisira sa kanilang lupa, so sinusuportahan ng critical theory ang pakikinig sa kanilang experiences and protecting their rights. So in summary, ang Marxist perspective ay mas nakapokus sa economic inequality at class struggle, while ang critical framework ay mas nakapokus sa pag-challenge ng power structure at nagbibigay boses sa mga taong na-happy. That's all my topic.
Good day everyone, my name is Miguel Yaritza. I'm the last reporter of Group 1. So my topic is all about post-colonial perspective. First, we discuss to you the pure argument. So first is the colonialism structure versus the globalization. It is economic and political system, meaning former colonial power still influence trade, investment, and institutional framework. Next is the economic exploitation. Continues under new forms such as unfair trades, terms, and differentiation that keep developing countries dependent. The third is Western knowledge dominates global discourse. It is the marginalizing local or indigenous way or thinking and policy making. Next is the cultural imperialism spread through media and education, exposing foreign values and norms on post-colonial society. So the next is the impact of developing nation. First is the dependency of former colonial power. This affect policy choice, institutional design, limiting autonomous governance. Next is the unequal terms of trades and debt burden. It's forced administration to prioritize like external obligation overload needs. The third is brain drain to developed countries. Weakens local capacity as skilled professional migrate to developed countries, affecting service delivery. The last is the loss of indigenous knowledge system. It is reduced the ability to craft context-specific policies, leading to efforted less effective solution. That's all my report.